Embrace the magic.
Greetings, fellow wizards. So I've been low-key addicted to Stoneshard for the past 2 weeks or so. And even though the game is still in early access, it received a major update in August of this year, and I've been having a blast with all the builds that you can play. But for the purpose of this video, I want to highlight the build I've been playing the most, which is a hybrid staff Geomancer Arcanist build. So the idea of this build is quite simple, using spells defensively and strategically while my staff does the work of killing the enemies. And even though the concept is quite simple, there are a few steps to getting there, because the idea is to get as little damage taken as possible. As you can see here, I'm not only funneling my enemies one by one, but I also have 25% damage taken, which is the limit that you can have. So how do I achieve this? Well, that's the fun part. As you can see here, without any buffs, I already have 73% damage taken. Part of that comes from my gear, minus 5% from this chest piece, minus 5% from this cloak, minus 5% from the Geomancer cowl, and minus 3% from the amulet, which is a unique one. And lastly, this one took me longer because you have to kill some trolls. The bone charm gives me minus 8.5% damage taken, which is something only Hilda can get, which is why I chose her. As for the buffs, the main buff that you need in this order is Seal of Power, because that becomes a Geomancy seal that gives you minus 10% damage reduction after you use a Geomancer spell like Runic Boulder, right? And Ether Shield. Ether Shield gives you scaling damage taken based on your willpower. So in this case, minus 23% damage taken. Also observe the move control resistances, which is very good against enemies that knock you back. And just a reminder, since you cast an Arcanistic spell, you need to recast a Geomantic spell like Stone Armor, of course, which is another minus 10% damage taken. And then each runic boulder with the passive that you can get in the Geomancy skill tree gives another minus 5% damage taken. So here you can see already have basically the limit of 25% damage taken. And this is extremely helpful because it also stacks with resistances and things like dodge. My dodge is fairly high, as you can see here. And just a reminder, dodge doesn't fully mitigate damage necessarily. It can turn an attack into a fumble, which means 50% damage. So you're gonna get very little damage at times when you're fully buffed, and this means less injuries, less chance to be knocked back. It's just really, really good. Oh, and why Quarterstaff? Well, because you have Battle Trance, which is very good for hybrid builds, and it also reduces the damage taken. I think it's the only weapon that has this. So, and also you can use it to knock back enemies into boulders. It's just very, very strong in the game. So here, just to showcase how effective this build is, you can see that the troll boss is doing very little damage to me. And just in this instance, I think he knocks me back. But I then get back into the fray, and not only is he not able to knock me back with this swipe attack, but it does very little damage. So as long as I'm protected, it's really just a question of time before I kill the enemy. Now, something has to be said about runic boulders because they are so useful. As you can see here, I can give myself a turn by knocking back the enemy. It also reduces the damage I take, activates my seal of Geomancy, and then I can use it to block line of sight, which is great against archers. You can see here I'm going to give myself another turn by either stunning or knocking back the enemy. Sometimes, of course, it won't work, but it just provides this little shelter where I can just be surrounded by my boulders and basically do whatever I want. And also, here's a nice little trick with Arcanistics. If you wormhole the enemy, it will teleport back to where you cast the wormhole. And if you place a boulder there, not only will it knock back the enemy, but when it teleports back, it will take damage since the space is already occupied. So it's basically a guaranteed way to kill any fleeing enemy. And since your staff does a lot of knockbacks, of course you can use it as a wall. So you knock back enemies into the boulder and they get stunned. So in terms of passive tree, I have all my staves skills almost all complete. It's just very, very good, especially with the boulders. Alternatively, you could try a two-handed mace or a spear, but for hybrid, I prefer the quarterstaff. I actually don't have a lot of geomancy skills. You only need the rune of fortifying to reduce the energy you spend keeping up the stones. This is very important, as well as giving you the damage, less damage taken. Arcanistics, you need a lot of Arcanistic skills, not only because they are useful, but because it extends the time on your Ether Shield. So this is very important because Ether Shield lasts 2 turns plus 1 turn for each of your other Arcanistic abilities. Not passives, mind you, just abilities. And this is also very important. Mighty Kick I used as my first skill, but Push the Following is a way for you to get your energy back, because you're going to spend a lot of energy buffing and keeping up your boulders. So Push the Following means that every time you crit or stagger or daze the enemies, you'll get 20% of your max energy. So this is huge. And there's also some stuff here in Magic Mastery, of course the Seal. And Seal of Reflection can also give you more resistances, which means less damage. And it can reflect certain spells that are very annoying that enemy casters can cast. So I recommend going up to Seal of Reflection. And lastly, we have Survival Tree. Will to Survive is just a very clutch skill. I picked up a bit late in the game, but I've seen that it's very useful, so it might be worth going here as well. So overall, just a very capable. Oh yeah, Ever Vigilant would be probably my next pick as well. It's quite strong with Will to Survive. So yeah, with this build I've already done T5 dungeon, I think the hardest one there is, with the ghost boss, and I've just had a blast with the game. I can't wait for the new updates, and if you haven't tried it, you should really check it out. There's a lot of customization in this game, more than you would expect. The survival mechanics are a bit rough, but once you get past through the initial phase of learning the game and knowing when to sleep, because that's how you save the game, you realize that it's not so bad, and in the end I think you end up feeling like a proper hero. But the early part is also very fun because you can't just go attacking anything. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you have fun gaming. Take care.
Thank you for watching, fellow wizard, and may magic be with you.